The tenant needs to be now seen as a consumer, no more just a tenant.
Certain foods are not allowed, certain time zone is not allowed, you're not supposed to come late, no alcohol, no non-veg.
So Renters' Right Act 2025 now in effect from 1st of May.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, tenant is only signing 2 months contract.
So we have Sachin Kumar Gupta with us from Property Hub. He's also a co-founder of 99 Home. And I would also like to add that he's an expert when it comes to properties, renting, buying, purchasing, or investing into. But right now in this interview, we will only focus that what is this new law all about and what is there for renters to know.
The main thing is now tenant has a more security. They'll have infinity tenancy as soon as they enter into their contract. There's no more section 21,
Yeah.
which is non-fault eviction. So landlords simply cannot get serve a notice and get you out. They need to give a fair reason if they're selling the property, or if they're moving back into the property, or the property is going to get demolished, or something which is very concrete reason to just get the tenants out. Otherwise, tenants has a great security and a longer tenancy. They can live once they sign 2 months contract to start with, and then there is forever contract on. The tenant needs to be now seen as a consumer, no more just a tenant. They should get the benefit. So at the beginning, tenant is only signing 2 months contract.
Okay.
And thereafter it will monthly rolling. They don't need to do any admin paperwork any longer. The day they want to leave, they can simply write an email to the landlord and just give 2 months notice.
I really like the way you mention tenants as consumers, because
Yeah.
all the consumer has the consumer rights.
Exactly.
So I would like you to highlight points when it comes to tenants. Then what are the tenants' rights?
There is a guide called the Renters' Right Act Guidance. This is came out just recently, and this is the duty of the landlord to give that guide to every tenant by 31st of May 2026. And that guide will give them a couple of points. I'll tell you highlight is first, the tenants must get the rent receipt. Second, decent home standard. Third, the beauty is tenant needs to know that who is going to help them. The council should take action against the landlord, and the fine is £7,000, and it's a civil penalty on the landlord straight away. But the tenant must do everything in writing. So, better clear communication, written communication I would suggest to the tenants. Last but not the least is, if they want to leave the property, they do not require to give a reason, even the student. So in nutshell, the tenant is given good power. They have to be respected by the landlords, and they have an immense power to use local authority and raise their voice or any concern about their property. That's what I can say. When the landlord is buying a property,
Yeah.
they are actually doing business with it. Rental is a business.
Yeah.
They just want the landlord to get educated.
You mentioned one point which also people might have picked up, that if, let's say, there are some promises and some things which landlords have to done in terms of making the house look beautiful and livable. But what if someone who doesn't want to go to the local authority and get into the serious complaint mode but still wants their work done? Then what is the procedure?
The procedure is very simple. First of all, do written communication with the landlord.
Okay.
And very soon,
Written communication.
So
लिखना है email पे, because
Exactly.
in future if he doesn't agree that okay मैंने तो ये promise नहीं किया था, then this email might help you in future to take actions.
Or by end of this year, there will be a landlord ombudsman. You'll know.
What is?
Landlord ombudsman क्या होता है? जैसे कि to be an estate agent, letting agent, we are registered with the property ombudsman.
Right.
And there will be landlord's ombudsman register. Every landlord will be registered there. So as soon as you complain about your landlord with the property address, the local authority has a direct access to it, and they said, complaint came, landlord, are you renting XYZ property to this tenant? Yes. Are they reported you last 2 times there is a leakage from upstairs to their flat? Well, yes. It's a nuisance. Do it. So not
Nice.
only written communication, they can launch direct complaint about the landlord to the authority, local ombudsman scheme. Yeah.
When it comes to, let's say, renting as in income, what is under this new law? Has it ever changed? Like, okay, in how many months they are supposed to increase the rent, and if they want to raise the rent, then what is the procedure?
Very simple. The landlord cannot just simply increase the rent any longer. They can only increase the rent every 12 months, not before that. And they need to serve a notice called Section 13 Form 4A notice. This is a prescribed notice. They cannot just simply text you, WhatsApp you, email you, your rent will be higher from the next month. And how much rent they increasing and on what ground they increasing. Why you think that their one bedroom property, which is generally tenant is renting for 800, now it should be 1000. The jump of 20-25%. So they cannot just do that. They need to justify that. And the tenant can immediately, without any cost, challenge under first tribunal. It's a system which is set it up.
Let's say if I'm going to some house today.
Yeah, so very simple. First of all, before renting a property, you should have a clear information what you're going to get it in your tenancy. Okay, so first of all, what will be the rent, how much deposit they are asking. They cannot ask you more than 5 weeks of deposit if your rent is under 50,000 pounds per year. Under 50,000 pounds per year, the landlord cannot take you more than 1 week of deposit before signing the contracts with you. It's called holding deposit. You pay that 1 week, sign the contract, get the copy, then only you pay remainder deposit and a gap of rent. Then, once this is done, obviously during this process, the landlord has every rights to ask their employer reference. They may do their credit checks. They may ask you to provide previous landlord's reference, which is nothing wrong. You can give them. But they cannot ask you two documents, which I am really surprised tenants are giving. Your bank statement. They cannot ask your bank statement. Second, they do not allow to ask your passport and visa copy. They
Really?
can only ask you a renter's right code. That's a specific digits which you get it for free of charge from government website, okay, GOV website, and your date of birth. That's it. And your email address and phone number you can share, but you don't need to share your confidential details any longer with any landlord or agents. Second, every month you must get a rent receipt. Before signing the contract. The tenant should also get gas safety certificate if there's a gas in the property, energy performance certificate EPC, electric installation condition report EICR, the Renters' Right Act guide. Last but not the least is if the property is HMO, house of multi-occupancy, the room let, they must get the copy of the license and who they should contact if there is an issue.
It's a
Like
very
emergency
important point,
contact.
Sachin.
Absolutely. Or if the property is in selective landlord licensing zone, then a copy of selective landlord license. So there are a lot of documents landlord needs to give it to the tenants before they release the keys. And if they don't do it, simple. Tenant should celebrate first, because they can literally inform the local authority that I want to receive all these documents, and £7,000 is from the landlord straight away. We do free of charge help to our tenants, or even they are not our tenants. Why not?
How do they reach out to you then for that?
Contact either on me on my mobile number, which is I'm happy, but I prefer text message, which is 0786 2233 721. But because I'm quite busy, I prefer that you email me on Sachin SACHIN at propertyhubltd.com.
Thank you, Sachin.
Office is massive. They can help them anyways.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So now you just advised about what are the things we need to check before we move into the property. Now,
Yes.
let's say we have already moved in. What are the new law under this change?
Before I move to that, if any tenant has got any pet, under Renters' Right Act, your landlord cannot deny the pet. Strictly is prohibited. Feel free to get your pet into your property, but certainly you must mention the landlord before renting that this sort of pet I have, this is the photo of the pet.
All right. So you gave us clarity about under this new law now the pets are allowed and what are the procedure if you want to get some repairs done. I've also noticed, Sachin, some property agents straight away say no to some families with many kids, and especially if a newborn child or I've also noticed some pregnant women finding a house because of the landlord have said like much before the delivery that you have to vacate the house. So has it changed under this new law about this
Absolutely.
discrimination?
It's called applying blanket ban, to be honest.
Apply the blanket ban.
Yeah. Apply blanket ban. This is like, no DSS. Like the people cannot claim benefit, or no children, no students, no pets. These are the restrictive things which came with the laws. It is considered as a discrimination, okay, and the landlord just cannot only advertise like that. Otherwise, a local authority or trading standard can keep eye on it.
What if they are not advertising but just saying no over the call?
Record. Always record a call.
Take a proof. About this.
Yes, absolutely.
You might have also noticed here there are a lot of middle people between the landlord and the tenants in an area like Northwest London. We've seen many students are coming these days, and they make contract on one family name, let's say, and they run the house then, okay, and the rest of the rooms they sublet to other people. So in these kind of setup, landlord doesn't come to the picture. It's that family on whose name the contract's been made, and they make their own rules like, okay, certain foods are not allowed, certain time zone is not allowed, you're not supposed to come late, no alcohol, no non-veg. So landlord doesn't know anything about it. If you have noticed, then if someone is facing like
Plenty
that,
of time.
do you want to say anything?
Oh, absolutely. This is very important. First of all, it is a clear sign that your landlord who's pretending as a landlord, he is actually a tenant.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be the agent running the HMO. It could be a tenant who's renting a big house and doing subletting, which is strictly prohibited.
That's not allowed.
Exactly not allowed.
Subletting is not allowed.
Not allowed. Exactly. Strictly not allowed. And even if they're doing with the consent of the landlord.
Yeah.
Okay. So now they both become eventually landlord for the tenants.
Yes.
Again, all these regulations is applicable. Any need of yours, veg, non-veg, children, food, prayer, using kitchen these hours, using toilet that hours, is all restrictive. You can use when you want to use it as long as you're paying your rent. Simple as that. And if you face such an issue, so just to let you know that the person who's subletting, he is equally into the trouble, because the local authority going to see who is collecting rent, and that's called rack rent, like a rack.
Yeah.
Rack rent, and that's a severe penalty. Not 7,000 this time. The first penalty will be 30,000 pounds on the person.
That's a
who
nice.
asked.
So Renters' Rights Act
Yeah.
is your new Bible.
Follow the terms and condition given in your signed contract, which is assured periodic tenancy. No more ASTs, okay? No more fixed term. Fixed term word is gone. Section 21 is abolished.
So it is all a win-win situation if you know your right and practice it. Do you want to add any more piece of advice to tenants, because this sounded like some?
Yes.
If you
I'll brief it. Keep a trail and track of every communication with you with the landlord. Read your tenancy agreement once. Third thing I would say is you should know your rights. Report every issue in timely manner, and report in writing. Don't call your landlord at 9 p.m. if it's not urgent. Call in the 9 a.m. is better. It shows your professionalism and how good tenants you are. Inform if any issues to a local authority and get the support from that. I already said. Last but not least is be informed about UK laws, changing laws.
Thank you, Sachin.
Yeah.
And if you are facing any of these and you want any help regarding this, then Sachin has mentioned this is the mobile number on the screen you can see, and he's your man. You can, I'm sure people will not call you at 9 p.m.
Oh, hopefully not.
Thank you for talking to us, and it was a
absolutely
very useful
fabulous.
interview, Sachin.
Thank you so much, and I'm always happy. He says in our religion, I would say that if you have a knowledge, worth sharing it.
All right, and if you are wondering then that what about the landlord's rights under this new law, then probably we decided to make a series. So in the next part of the video, you'll know about the other side of the law. All right, thank you for watching, and stay tuned to Asian Universal Media.